Welcome to Vibrational Revelations. My name is Elena.
My name is Alejandro.
Thank you so much for being a part of our YouTube channel. Please make sure that you subscribe, like, share, and comment. This way it keeps this channel active and more visible to others who are seeking for this information as well. If you're interested in exploring the depth of our work, we have Vibrational Revelations membership community platform where there's over 180 recordings of people, places, historical events that we've done over the last 5 years. So we hope that you join. We'll post the link below. Now, getting back in today's episode, we're going to publicly reveal the vibrational frequencies and levels of consciousness of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I know many of you have written to us over the years and asking, can you please reveal his frequencies? So here we are. Now, this is an election year in the United States and many places around the world. We have done an episode on French election this year, on UK election, as well as the US election, revealing the vibrational frequencies of all the political parties that are running for this year's election in US. So if you don't want to miss it, please make sure that you join Vibrational Revelations membership library. And this is where you'll find the episode. Now let's begin with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Now we're going to go through over 30, how many categories do we have now?
Over 36.
Over 36 categories. So this is quite an in-depth report. Now, for those of you that are interested in getting your own personalized vibrational frequency analysis, just know that it comes with a 36-page report. So quite in-depth analysis looking into all the specific different angles of how you would operate. In this case, we're revealing to you Robert F. Kennedy Jr. So we're going into his vibrational frequency incarnation. So the moment his soul decided to enter this reality. Now remember, we're using the vibrational frequencies of awakening scale. The scale is from 0 to 1000. The scale is broken down into 5 major categories. The victimization consciousness, which is from 0 to 199. Activation consciousness from 200 to 499, inspiration consciousness from 500 to 699, and then illumination consciousness from 700 to 999, and then the frequency of 1000, which is the divine essence, or what we call the inner essence, which exists in each and every one of us. It is also the ceiling frequency of what is available for a human being to achieve in this reality. So let's begin. His vibrational frequency at incarnation is 750. This is the illumination consciousness. So again, the numbers that you will see today, you'll hear from us today, are very unusual, since based on the human collective consciousness, and this is something that we've done on a yearly basis, collectively, humanity is below the frequency of 200. Now, he came at a frequency of 750. He was born at the frequency of 525, which is that frequency of flow state. Some say it's a love consciousness. His overall vibrational frequency as of today is 525. It's a frequency, again, of this flow state. Inspiration, you can say inspiration consciousness, as well as the love. Some people reference it as love consciousness.
The flow state.
Yes,
as well.
Flow state. Mm-hmm. Health, he views through the lens of the frequency of 525. Again, no surprise there, right? For many of you who are following Robert Kennedy's work, you know how passionate he is about having the best in supporting United States in the efforts of bringing the best healthcare system. Now, connection to mind. So under the health aspect, there's 3 aspects that we look at: connection to mind, connection to body, and connection to soul. So he views his connection to mind through the lens of 540. So there's this element of joy. Connection to body is 525, and connection to soul is 500. Finances he views through the lens of eagerness, 310. So you can see he is much more at ease with an element of or subject of health versus finances. There's less resistance in health-related category. Relationships. Oh no, we're going to go into creativity. So creativity is all about what inspires a person, and when they feel inspired, how do they take action? And usually I like to say that this is the best place if you want to shift your vibrational frequency, focus on what inspires you and connect to that childlike essence in order to shift your vibrational frequency. And the best place to do it is creativity. So in Robert F. Kennedy's case, his creativity aspect is at the frequency of 500. Again, it's the flow state, love consciousness, inspiration consciousness.
If nothing comes to mind, because we all have experienced moments to where we just can't tune into the wave of inspiration, I would say that the easiest way to help you get there is to remind yourself of the things that inspire you, the things that you've done in the past, and do more of that until when you least expect it, other channels are going to be opening up and the inspiration will flow like magic. And then from that point, pretty much you have access to all there is, and you can expand your creativity and stay there for as long as possible, right?
Yes.
So doing more of what you already know that inspires you more often.
Yes. Relationships. How does he view relationships? And again, the numbers we're sharing with you today are extremely unusual. These are the numbers of someone we would call a master in many ways. So he views relationships through this lens of illumination. It's the frequency of 700. So it's a higher state of consciousness, the way he perceives life and the way he relates to himself and others. Relationships to himself is 700, and relationship to others is 500. So also quite a high vibrational frequency state to be able to relate to others through the state of flow and love, you can say, inspiration. Personal growth. We always say that personal growth is the guiding light it's that voice. Sometimes it's silent, but it guides you through life and takes you on the journey to discover yourself in ways perhaps that you never knew were possible. And that is very much linked to personal growth. So personal growth in Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s chart is 950. This is out of the frequency of 1000. And I don't know how many of you have heard his speech that he gave about a week ago. And he says that for him, this is very much a spiritual path. So when he shared it, it's very much reflected in his vibrational frequency numbers. And by the way, majority of these numbers we revealed 4 years ago. So it was just asked. A lot of our members have asked for us to reveal his numbers again. So here we are. And many of you have also requested it to be revealed publicly.
This is an updated version.
Yes.
It is a life journey.
It's a spiritual
It's
life
a spiritual journey.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Philanthropy, the art of sharing and giving. He views through the lens of 700, the frequency of, again, illumination. Service to self is 700, and service to others is 540. Now we're going to look into intuition. And there's 4 categories in intuition that I'm going to reveal to you as well. So we all are intuitive. It's a matter of how much we allow for that information to flow and what filter is applied when the information comes through. Because we all have the same access to the same identical information. So intuition overall for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is 500. So the flow state. Clairaudience is 500, so that's the ability to hear. Clairsentience is 500, that's also ability to feel in your physical body. Clairvoyance is the ability to visualize things, 500. And claircognizance is your ability to trust your inner guidance, the ability to trust that instinct, your inner knowing. And for Robert F. Kennedy, his frequency for claircognizance is 700. So he tends to trust his gut instinct with least resistance. So again, these are quite unusual numbers.
Which is extremely important for a leader, right, of all sorts. In this case, a political leader, to be really
clear.
in tune. Yes, and we will see more numbers that actually describe that level of connection. Now we go into the intelligence aspect, and when it comes to the IQ, intelligent quotient or intelligence quotient, for Robert is 310, the eagerness. Right?
It's also very unusual, right? Because we've seen for the human collective average, IQ is 175.
Emotional quotient, EQ, is 500. Social quotient, SQ, 500. The state of flow is magnificent. And you can tell that if you have a chance to witness the person in a social setting and interacting with big groups of people, that really when they activate the filter of flow, they're just connecting without hardly any resistance, really, right? And people can feel that.
And that is also linked to the level at this frequency. When we see 500 and above, it's linked also to your level of magnetism, how magnetic someone is. Exactly. And you just want to be around that person. And this is something we see with people who are actors, singers. They have the ability to move large crowds with their presence.
Now, adversity quotient, AQ, is 200. That is heroism. If he's faced with adversity or challenges, tackles the situation, open to explore and find a solution instead of hiding or freezing or avoiding it, right? Like it is the case for especially those that have AQ at 50 or 55 or even 100. It activates there's a filter of war. It might intend to freeze if there's too much of it, and instead of grabbing the bull by its horns. Now, when it comes to indie joy, how much is Robert Kennedy Jr. experiencing the role that he's playing in this reality? Is 93%, and this is from 1 up to 100%. In the ego, as of how loyal and faithful he is to his truth, right? Doesn't have to be your truth or our truth. Pretty much how loyal he is to his belief system, to his programming. And in his case, is 62%.
Also very unusual, right?
Yes, especially for those that are in politics. At 62%, that tells you very clearly that we have been able to identify it based on our findings, and we have read thousands of people, and that the level of 62 is someone that really has learned how to master their emotions, and that is also linked to the EQ, of course, at 500 for him, right? And when it comes to the type of ego or type of thought, there are two types within the ego: the inferior version of the ego and the superior version of the ego. In this case, for him, is 76% for the inferior version of the ego, which tells you that there are more of the thoughts that he pays attention to are activating this sense of not enough. But at a 76%, it shows that it is under control. Yes? Now, when it comes to how long he spends or how much time he's experiencing himself in the present moment, then it's at 96%, is in the now, 96%, which is also higher than average. Self-awareness is 100%, and clarity, 100%. So yes, going back to what Elena mentioned earlier, it's evident that there's a level of mastery coming from being able to navigate, chaos with the intention of trying to, or seeking for the solution, and at the same time having the ability to activate the frequency of 500 when it comes to 700 when it comes to the clear cognizance, right? And having this flow state experience when it comes to the aspect of creativity and the willingness to explore it all when it comes to the aspect of personal growth at 950, almost the maximum level. You have someone that doesn't rely or is not too attached to their programming and their belief systems at 62% when it comes to the number in the ego, then can utilize all these ways that he has found to access the information, activating lower levels of resistance when it comes to the filters that are being activated in different aspects. It has the ability to see the broader picture. It has a higher view of what is happening or what might happen. Yes, and it is, since it doesn't activate the filters of worry, guilt, or all these levels that have a lot of resistance, then he can definitely allow the information to flow, and it will be easier for him to find the solution or recognize the solution, the better solution. Yes. Now, when it comes to integrity, this is at 100%. This is in relation to his truth, again, right? To what he believes to be true. Integrity to self, how loyal he is to that information when it comes to applying it to himself and sticking to it, is 100%. Integrity to others or with others, that often there is a gap between overall integrity and the integrity to others, right? Because as of how the person really behaves, and one can see if it matches, if their words match their actions. And when it comes to integrity to others, that reveals that very clearly. And in his case, it's at 100%. Alignment with divine purpose. This is how well he's playing his divine role in this reality. Is 100%. This is really one of my favorite numbers. I think yours too, right?
Yes,
and most people,
it's related to your soul's
most people
blueprint in a way.
Yes, we all want to accomplish greater things, bigger things, and experience more excitement. But without a doubt, knowing that you are paying attention to your inner voice and that you're following your calling, you're following your guidance, and you're fully aligned with your divine purpose is the most gratifying thing. I just think it's priceless. So in his case, he's at 100%. When it comes to alignment with personal purpose, we compare this with as of what the persona self has accomplished, experienced, and how does it feel in relation to the sense of fulfillment, right? And sort of like how satisfied the ego self is with what has experienced or is currently experiencing. For him, it's at 100%. So that's really beautiful, being fully aligned on both sides of the coin, right? Which both are equally important, for sure. They have to, when they say it takes two to tango, this is the perfect way to dance tango. Now, compassion is 100%. When it comes to compassion to others or with others, it's also 100%. Empathy, 100%. Energy purity. This is an indicator that tells you how ready you are to experience a higher level of consciousness, how much you are embodying the feeling, I would say, of what the current level of consciousness the one is experiencing means and feels like. Like in his case, he's at 525. So his energy purity being 100% is just at any given moment, perhaps sooner or later, he will be experiencing a higher level of consciousness. Yes, I mean, he's already familiarized with the 700 when it comes to relationships and the 950 when it comes to the aspect of personal growth, right? And of course, behind the curtains, his known territory since the incarnation point, since the moment he dropped into this reality, was the 750. So it will be very easy for him, just with a little bit more of awareness, and without a doubt, knowing his numbers will serve, his numbers will serve as a catalyst and will catapult him into what his known territory, the least, very quick, right? Which is the 750. So now when it comes to dimensions, we measure how much time the person is experiencing the fifth dimension. And this includes during dream state, of course, right? In his case, he's experiencing the fifth dimension 92% of the time. So he's mostly in the state of flow.
It's a beautiful way to be.
These numbers are pretty unusual. Actually very unique. We haven't come across this a person, a political leader, in this case, political figure with a chart like Robert Kennedy Jr.'s chart. It's just it hasn't happened.
And very beautiful.
So yes, definitely it takes a great level of mastery to be able to
but I think
navigate
he also came with such high frequencies that it's easier for him to experience higher states of consciousness, but I'm sure it hasn't been easy being surrounded by a lot of politicians.
Exactly, to be able to navigate through those waters, and surrounded by people that they're experiencing different frequencies, from 20 all the way to, we don't know the limit, but I'm sure, from the, when it comes to the scale,
lowest to
the lowest,
whatever you can imagine.
They're surrounded by everything, right? All walks of lives, different perspectives, ideas, and ideals, and then to be able to maintain that center, that balance, it takes without a doubt a level of mastery and full commitment and discipline.
And I just thought about it, that these are the numbers of many masters also that have walked the earth. Similar numbers to Dalai Lama even.
Yes.
Which is also quite interesting. It just shows you don't have to be a Buddhist monk to sit and meditate all day. You can actually live a fulfilling life. Not to say that the other one is not fulfilling, but you can do other things in life and be a master and an illuminated being that inspires millions of people, inspires movements around the world that have to do with things that related to health, well-being, our planet, and so much more. So this is also showing you how important it is to be authentic, to find your unique creative essence and stay true to that. And no matter what that is, there's only one of you. There's only one of Robert, one of Alejandro and Elena. So find that niche of whatever makes you joyful whatever brings creativity, and wherever you feel like sharing, just know that being authentic to that aspect of who you are is going to make a difference in the world.
And that joy comes from the sense of freedom, and the sense of freedom comes from detaching and not relying 100% on your belief system, and being open to explore it all, and just exploring it, right? Whatever resonates with you and feels good to you, explore it until no longer feels good to you. And then deciding, move on to the next one. That means you've learned that lesson, you've learned whatever you can learn from that block of information, you go on to the next. And just pay attention to your guidance system, pay attention to your inner voice, and knowing how you feel when this happens, that will help you discern what rocks your world and what brings you closer and closer into being in full alignment with your divine purpose. And what we have found is that enjoying the role that you're playing in this reality to the fullest brings you into alignment with your divine purpose. So, and enjoying the role that you're playing in this reality is a byproduct of being authentic, genuine, and loyal to the truth, but also open to explore
Be
other
curious.
perceptions, other
Yes.
views, other ideals, right? And just be open and allow all that is aligned with you to flow freely.
Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you.